Hey guys, welcome back to Doozy Talks with Susie. And today I am doing a reaction video to someone who's been completely life changing for me. He's given me so much insight. His name is Gary Brecka from the Ultimate Human podcast. And today I noticed that he made a video about deodorant and some of the chemicals and how safe is it and what you should look for. And so I thought, you know what? This is perfect because I was talking to a client earlier this week about this very subject. So let's go ahead, let's dive in and see what he has to say.
Are natural deodorants actually healthier? Hello and welcome to the Ultimate Human Podcast. I'm your host, human biologist Gary Brecka, and today we're diving into a question that hits you right in the armpits. Literally, are natural deodorants actually healthier, or just another wellness fad? If you've ever wondered about aluminum, parabens, or that mysterious fragrance hiding in your deodorant and how these ingredients could secretly be sabotaging your health, you're in the right spot. So first, let's talk about the toxic cocktail hiding under your arms. Most conventional deodorants contain chemicals developed decades ago in labs, not in kitchens. Here's a quick breakdown of the most harmful chemicals you'll find in a lot of our underarms.
So I started looking at the ingredients on the back of the label for what they put in our deodorant, in our face products, in our shampoo, our conditioner, our lotions. And I was like, dude, these things literally look like a chemical compound. And the words are 26 letters long. And I'm going with a bunch of numbers added in there. And I'm going, what in the world am I putting on myself? And so whenever he's talking about some of those, well, there's just a bunch of chemicals. And then we're putting it onto our body. And I'm going, and of course, if you're putting it onto your body, for instance, like deodorant, then that's going to get in, it soaks into the body through the skin. So then we're putting chemicals into our body, just not directly like we would with food. Let's keep going.
Underarm deodorants. Aluminum compounds. These metals plug your sweat glands and are used in antiperspirants to stop perspiration. Effective? Yes, but at what cost? Aluminum accumulates in our bodies, and it isn't benign. Research by Dr. Philippe Darby found aluminum linked to genomic instability in human breast cells, potentially promoting tumor growth. Over half of all breast cancers occur near the underarm or axillary region. Is that a coincidence or maybe a clue?
That is
Now,
so
parabens.
interesting.
These are cheap preservatives that mimic estrogen in our bodies, disrupting our hormonal balance. A CDC study found parabens in 99% of Americans' urine samples, and these are linked to early puberty, reproductive issues, and even possibly breast tumors. There's something called triclosan. Originally a hospital-grade antibacterial agent, triclosan is an endocrine disruptor linked to lower thyroid hormone levels. And
So far he's mentioned aluminum, triclosan, and parabens. And all three of those things you don't want in your body. But it's in so many things. Literally, that's why shampoo companies and lotion companies, they'll put that on there, some of them. Oh, we're paraben free, aluminum free.
and antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Though banned from soaps by the FDA, it still sneaks into deodorants. And then there are phthalates. Hidden behind the word fragrance, phthalates help scents linger, but they block testosterone signaling, which impacts fertility, development, and even asthma in children. And then there's polypropylene glycol. This is derived from petroleum. This ingredient smooths the application, but it can irritate your skin and stress out your liver and your kidneys with repeated exposure. Fragrances, the black box of deodorants. Companies do not have to disclose its contents. This mystery blend often hides allergens, phthalates, and volatile organic compounds linked to headaches, allergies, and even asthma.
Oh,
And then there are the
snap.
silicas and the talcs. These moisture.
Hold on, I gotta pause him for a second on that. I study food a lot more than I had been studying with things like beauty products, health products, that stuff. I hadn't really been looking into that much until more recently. But I have looked into food. I've studied food for a long time, trying to understand what's going on with our food and why we don't want it in certain foods and stuff. And I started finding out that if it says natural flavors, that means there's no actual, seems to be any real rule about what natural flavors mean. So, and it doesn't mean that, say, you get something that's apple flavored juice. Doesn't mean that they went to the apple and got the flavor from the actual piece of fruit. No, it means that they went and found a juice flavor, a flavor that would be like an apple, and put that in. And they used natural flavors. They didn't necessarily use the apple. And there's a lot of foods where they do that. Or what was one that I saw it in? I believe it was some kind of a chip. I know it's in the chips. But if you read the ingredients, it'll be like natural flavors. And I'm going, what is the natural flavor? You already mentioned this whole long paragraph of other ingredients that you put into this tiny little chip that I'm eating here. And what is included in natural flavors? There can be a ton of other ingredients added into that, including but not limited like to MSG, which is known to cause a lot of problems. You don't want to eat that. So anyways, It is interesting that whenever you see the word fragrance, that it's the same as seeing something like natural flavors. It is crazy.
Absorbers come with inhalation risk, lung irritation, and potential asbestos contamination, especially in towels. And then there's steareth chemicals and aerosol propellants. Ethoxylated emulsifiers like steareth 20 can contain carcinogenic contaminants like 1,4-dioxane. Aerosols use butane, which is linked to benzene, a known carcinogen in recent recalls. These ingredients aren't rare. They're in brands and trust. You're not just stopping sweat, you're dosing yourself with an ongoing chemical experiment. So what does this mean for your body? Well, it could mean hormone chaos because endocrine disruptors like parabens and phthalates confuse your body's hormone signaling, leading to issues from weight gain to reproductive health. There's even mitochondrial sabotage. Aluminum damages
Wow.
mitochondria, and these are your cell's energy factories, creating oxidative stress, fatigue, and even cognitive decline. And then there are the cancer risks: benzene, talc, aluminum, each linked in studies to increase cancer risk, especially breast and ovarian cancers. And then there's the whole microbiome mayhem. Antiperspirants alter your armpit's natural bacterial balance, causing odor rebound and skin issues. So how did we get here? Well, a century ago, deodorants were simple zinc creams. As hygiene standards evolved, the early 1900s introduced aluminum salts like aluminum chloride, primarily due to their sweat-blocking effectiveness. However, aluminum was initially met with hesitation due to skin irritation and acidic properties that damaged clothing. The industry overcame these concerns through aggressive marketing campaign, normalizing sweat-free armpits and transforming deodorant usage into a social necessity.
So the aluminum was looked down on before, and now it's so normalized that we don't think about it. We don't look at the ingredients. But when you think barely 100 years ago, people were like, no, we shouldn't have this in our deodorant. No, this isn't normal. You're blocking the sweat glands. Eh, Your body needs to be able to detox. That's why it sweats, is because it's detoxing. So if you're over here putting something on your skin to prevent that sweat from happening, then your body's not going to be able to efficiently detox. Does that make sense? Do you see what I'm saying here? Because that's what they were doing. And the goal originally was just like, you don't want to smell bad. You don't want, so we'll make it smell good with the fragrance, but we'll also prevent your body from being able to sweat, which is what it's naturally supposed to do in order to get rid of toxins in your body. And at the same time, you're putting this onto your body, and it's going to cause a myriad of other health problems just because of that. Now, let's do a little side note on this. I have multiple detox gene mutations. I'm not going to go into detail on what all of them are, but my body struggles with detoxing. And that's kind of what got me started on learning more about how all of this stuff with the fragrances or beauty products, the stuff that I'm using and I'm putting onto my skin. I'm like, hold on, I need to figure this out. I need to know exactly what I'm doing and the best way to help my skin stay healthy. And dude, my body isn't supposed to have this stuff. Whenever you're putting things into your body that your body needs to get rid of, my body already can't get rid of it very well. I'm just creating more problems. And then also he's talking about the stuff with the estrogens. Well, I also have the COMT gene mutation. And what happens with that gene is it's supposed to be able to help naturally get rid of excess estrogen, excess dopamine, excess, how did I forget, norepinephrine. But if you don't have the proper gene working, then that thing is going to clog up like a clogged up sink, and your body's going to have to slowly get rid of it. So if you're already putting toxins into your body can't get rid of some of these things. You're putting estrogenic chemicals in there. Your body already is struggling to get rid of estrogen efficiently. Pay attention, people. Maybe you need to change what you're using in your beauty products. So that's just a quick little note on that. Something to think about. I really encourage everybody to get gene tested, because when you start noticing these things, then there's actually a way to help.
And then the mid 20th century advancements. They brought parabens into the spotlight, valued for their cost effectiveness and shelf life preservation capabilities. During the same era, triclosan emerged from hospitals into consumer products under the allure of antibacterial benefits. Phthalates were incorporated to enhance fragrances, leveraging regulatory loopholes that allowed undisclosed chemical cocktails under the term fragrance. Polypropylene glycol and aerosol propellants became the mainstays due to their affordability and consumer appeal for convenience. Regulatory oversight lagged significantly behind these innovations, creating a landscape where potentially hazardous chemicals went unchecked for decades. It wasn't until recent years, driven by growing consumer awareness and independent research, that these ingredients began facing scrutiny and regulation. Awareness has sparked a remarkable shift. Over the past decade, natural deodorant market has surged dramatically, reaching $138 million in 2024 alone, significantly outpacing conventional deodorants.
Wow.
This growth is driven by consumers' increasing demand for transparency, safety, and toxic-free products. Independent brands like Native, Schmidt's, and Primarily Pure have successfully disrupted the traditional deodorant market.
And are other brands as well now that are focused on trying to make sure that they are transparent and they're helping get you what you need instead of putting chemicals into their products. And I will look it up. I have no issue with looking up ingredients and being like, what is this ingredient? What is it going to do to my body? Yes, that's extra work, but in the long run, I'd rather be healthy than 20 years down the road find out that I've got like health related conditions because I'm not putting the right things on my body. I want to be able to take the best care of myself. And that's what I really want to encourage all of you guys to do as well. Look at your ingredients. A lot of companies make it simple for us now. They'll just be like aluminum free. Oh, that's easy. Okay, we know that one doesn't have aluminum. Paraben free. And they'll go through the whole list. There's certain they'll even tell you that this not scents, but the smells that they use is made from essential oils and there's no artificial used. Those are they still smell good, they're refreshing, and it's not going to have any health complications associated with it. So look into that.
Proving that safer ingredients can effectively control odor. Major corporations quickly noticed, leading to Procter & Gamble to acquire Native and Unilever to buy Schmidt's, recognizing the unstoppable shift towards cleaner products. Retailers have even adjusted, with mainstream stores like Target dedicating entire sections to natural and aluminum-free deodorants. Digital trends such as armpit detox challenges have further propelled interest, highlighting consumer willingness to prioritize health over convenience. Today, traditional deodorant giants like Secret and Dove have expanded their product lines to include aluminum-free and paraben-free options.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
The power of consumer-driven change. The natural revolution isn't just a fad. It's a substantial and lasting response to decades of exposure to harmful chemicals, making a new era of informed, health-conscious living. So here's the action plan. Switching to natural deodorants takes a strategy. Audit your deodorant. Read labels carefully. Look out for aluminum, parabens, and vague words like fragrance. And brace yourself for a transition. Expect a short adjustment period with increased sweating as your body detoxifies. Use a clay or even an apple cider vinegar mask to cleanse residues and reset your microbiome. Then adjust.
Like the thing, don't be afraid of sweating. Everybody sweats and it's healthy to sweat. That's your body detoxing. And I appreciate him pointing that out. Like, body's just detoxing, let it do its thing, and you're going to be fine. Like, not the end of the world if you don't smell like, I don't know, rainbows and flowers. Like, let your body do its thing.
Adjust your routine. Shower daily, wear breathable clothing, and reapply natural deodorants as needed. Lastly, hydrate, eat greens, exercise regularly, and sweat safely in saunas to aid your body's natural detoxification pathways. You have sensitive skin? Choose baking soda-free options from brands like Schmidt's or Primally Pure. Are natural deodorants healthier? Absolutely. Conventional sticks carry toxins linked to hormone disruption, cellular damage, and increased cancer risks. Switching to natural options isn't just about smelling fresh, it's about empowering your health, freeing your cells, and reclaiming your well-being. Take a moment to grab your deodorant, check the ingredients, and if it's a chemical stew, make the upgrade.
A chemical stew. You can't beat that, guys. So if you haven't yet, go look at your deodorant. I'm going to expand on that. Like, just check your deodorant. Yes, that's a huge thing. Check your deodorant, check your skincare routine, check your lotion, check your shampoo, check your soap. Make sure that whatever you're using on your body to keep yourself healthy and clean is actually healthy. If it looks like a mess of chemicals that is used to make up whatever you're using, you may want to try switching, even if it's just one thing at a time, so that your body can get the healthiest possible. You don't want to keep putting chemicals in there because it's going to lead to more and more problems throughout your life. So that was it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you've noticed the same thing. And I'll see you guys in the next video.